Hi, I'm Michelle, and you are watching Salon Ready Every Day, where I share with you hot tips and secrets that we use behind the chair every single day. Today's look is all about the Salon Ready blowout. You know, that blowout that you get from your hairstylist that you swear you could never do. Well, if you're interested in how I get this look and all the secrets and hot tips to make it last you for days, then please keep watching. Okay, so let's get started on the perfect salon blowout. So what you're gonna need is freshly washed hair. As you can see, mine is pretty damp. Also, among some other tools, you're going to need a blow dryer. This is the Twin Turbo. I am absolutely obsessed with this blow dryer. I've been using it behind the chair for years and years and years. It's my absolute favorite. You're going to need some suction clips. These are just standard duckbill clips, and you can find these at any salon. You're also going to need a blow drying lotion. This is by Kerstase. It's called the Forme Fatale. The reason I love it is it's actually a voluptuous blow drying lotion. That's what it says on the bottle, which I think is so adorable. And you can use this on the ends and the roots so we can get maximum volume. Also, you're gonna need a hairspray for at the end for setting the hair. This is by Shu Uemura. It's the Sheer Laquer, and it's a micro mist hairspray. And the reason I love it is because of the micro mist, it kind of goes over the hair and it doesn't get sticky, so you can kind of move it. It's still movable, yet it holds really, really well. And then also you're gonna need your favorite round brush. This is by Ergo. There's a link on my website for all the tools that I'm going to be using, and I'll also link it in below so you can find out all the tools. So let's get started. So let's first start by putting the blow drying lotion in our hair. We're going to need about a nickel size. You can see I have pretty long hair. If you have longer hair, you can use more, and if you have shorter hair, you can use a little less, but this is about how much that I'm using. What I always tell my guests in the salon is so important when you're using a product like this is to break it down in your hand. So as you are breaking it down in your hand, it's getting the product warmed up, and then also it's distributing on your hand so that there's no clumps. So if there's no clumps on your hands, there's gonna be no clumps in your hair. So that's gonna be absolutely key in getting this product to go through the hair effortlessly, so that there's no sort of like spots that have too much or then not enough at all. And then also my hot tip is to start through the ends. So start through the ends of the hair. That way you don't get too much in the root area, and just bring it through the ends. I've just kind of sectioned my hair in two sections, one on each side, and I'm bringing it through the ends. Then start massaging your scalp and bringing it through around the edges and the root. So if you want a little bit more volume in the crown, definitely massage it into the crown, but be very diligent in where you want this product. Also, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, and those of you who know me, I have a 7-month-old. So with that comes baby hairs, which we call hormonal hair loss. No worries though, product and correct blowing out can help with any issues like that. So I'm just gonna come right around my hairline, right at the end, and I can feel that I'm running out of product on my hand, which is great. That way we don't have too much around the hairline. Another hot tip that I always say is, now that you have the product through, brush through it. So, or comb through it, whatever you have. And this just makes sure that the product is evenly distributed. So I'm just giving a quick little comb or brush through, and then I'm gonna direct all my hair straight back and away from me. Okay, so the key to getting an amazing blowout at home is less is more. So, you know, we all have limited amount of time. We don't have hours to spend in our bathroom trying to look salon ready. So I'm going to break it down and give you a couple of key things so that this goes super, super fast for you. So my first secret is getting most of the moisture out before you even pick up your round brush. So right now my hair is pretty damp, and instead of me going in and clipping it up, let's get some moisture out first, and then I'll show you how to start round brushing it through. So I'm gonna pick up my blow dryer now, and I'm gonna start blow drying through, and I'm gonna get to about 75% dry. A lot of you at home might be turning your head upside down. If that works for you, great. The only thing that I would say to you is, yes, it gives volume, but oftentimes it gives volume in the wrong places. So if we're turning our head upside down, getting volume, a lot of times that's just really opening up the cuticle through the ends where we don't want volume. We want this to be sleek, and we usually want the volume at the top, at the root area. So by flipping your head upside down, it's really not giving you the correct volume, and you can kind of make more of a mess through your ends than what you want. So I would suggest just going through, and I'll be doing it in a second. I'm going to turn on my dryer and going through and using your head. Your head is round, so start bringing that hair around the head and following it just like this, and then same thing in the back, kind of going side to side. So I'm going to turn on my blow dryer now, and you can watch how I do that. Let's go. There you have it. I'm at about 75% dry, and I was really targeting on my root area. You don't want to do the ends too much because they're gonna be drying on their own as you're hitting the root. Make sure you're concentrating on the root for two reasons. The root is what takes the longest to dry, and then also if you're giving yourself a blowout and towards the end you're all done, you're all finished, and then you start to feel that your hair is still damp, that means your blow dry is not going to last. And we want a really lasting blow dry, and that's what makes one that you get at the salon so much different than the one you're giving yourself at home. So the secret is making sure that you're getting the roots completely dry. So while you're prep drying, make sure that you're filling those roots, and right now I'm at like 75%, which is perfect. And now we're gonna go through and we're going to start clipping this up and away. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't even brought my part out to play yet because we want this to be voluminous. So we don't really want to blow dry our hair with a part today. So we're gonna go into 3 sections. Let's get the first section up and out of the way. So we're gonna start right at, I always say like the temple. So it's straight up from usually where your brows arch. So you can even take your fingers and come straight up. And now you're gonna take your fingers around, you're gonna find the crown. Take your fingers, and now you know exactly where to go. So you can see, I'm actually gonna turn around, and you can see how much hair is there. So I've totally got the crown up and out of the way. So I'm gonna turn back around, and I'm just gonna clip this up because we're gonna blow dry this later. Okay, second section. I have a little bang here, so let's put that in the clip as well. Second section is gonna go from the top of the ear. So how you find that, just give yourself a little massage at the top of the ear, and then you're gonna take your fingers and go straight around. So this is gonna be your second section that you blow dry, and I'm gonna turn around again so you can see what kind of section I've made there, and now you have this hair that's left down. And that's gonna be the first section that we start blow drying. Okay, perfect, adjust that one. And now you're left with this hair back here. So all I'm doing is I'm splitting it in half in the back. So I have 2 sections, one on this side and one on this side. Now, if you have super thick hair, which I do not right now, I'm just gonna do 1 section and 2 sections in the bottom. If you have super thick hair, you can certainly divide this into 2 and you can blow this out separately. So I'm just going to, for the sake of my hair being a little finer, I'm gonna take this into 1 section. So prep yourself. Before you even pick up the blow dryer, get your hair that you're gonna blow dry first in position around this round brush, right? So to get volume, the thing that most people do incorrectly at home is they want volume and they're blow drying straight down, straight down, straight down. So this root, the root which is up here, is facing, it's going towards the floor. What you want the root to do is actually go towards the ceiling. So you want to blow dry going up, and that's what's going to give you the volume, is keeping this root going up instead of down. So those are my hot tips. You can watch me do it. I'm going to turn on the blow dryer so you can just kind of watch how I do this. So here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I was running the round brush through the hair, and then I got to the end and I have wound the hair around and kind of curled it in. So I know a lot of you get really scared with doing this at home. Sometimes it can be scary because if the minute you take this out, what happens? Sometimes this brush gets stuck. So I'm going to share with you a really, really amazing secret so that your brush never gets stuck again. So once you bring it in, you always want to kind of let it cool for a second, keep like touching that hair. And then here's how it's never going to get stuck again. So instead of trying to unwrap it as it's at the root, you're actually going to come halfway out. So you're going to unroll halfway out, and then you're going to unroll it like you would a curler. And then it comes out super, super effortlessly. And see how voluminous that root is? That root is coming up and away from my scalp, which is exactly what you want to see. It's not hanging straight down. And so this hair, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to let it just sit here on my shoulder as I do the other side, because the more you touch your hair, the more it's going to fall. So it's still a little warm, and you want it to completely cool in this position so it stays super voluminous all day long. I'm going to move on to the other side so you can see exactly how we do that again. Okay, great. So we're letting it cool now. I'm turning off my blow dryer so you can hear me. And you can see too that since we did all that prep blow dry in the very beginning, I'm only having to go over each section 2 or 3 times. So 2 or 3 passes before I'm in a position where I'm letting that curl cool. So that's gonna save you lots and lots of time. So now I'm gonna unwind halfway out, and then I'm gonna unroll just like I would a curler and just softly set that down. You can already see how this has dropped a little bit more, but it's still super voluminous. It has a nice tassel to it. It's super shiny, so that's exactly what we're looking for. So 2 sections, we're done with the bottom, and we're gonna move to the center sections. I'm gonna take this clip out. So we did 2 sections down here. I'm going to now split my hair in half, again, just like I did before. I'm going to take that hair, I'm going to put the 2 pieces that I just did behind my shoulder, just so that we can keep everything divided, so you're not picking up hair and re-blow drying it, which again takes everything so much longer. Now we have 2 sections on each side, and we're just going to split this in 2 sections, like just behind the ear. So now you have 2 sections here, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side when we get to that, and you're only going to have 4 sections in your center section. Again, if you have a little bit thicker hair, make this 6, but you're still only dealing with 6 pieces of hair. So now just kind of give this a twist so that it sections itself away from this section, because again, we just want this to go super quick and easy, and the secret is not picking up hair that you've already blown dry, so kind of keep it separated. If you're just starting out and that's not going to work for you, you can always certainly put a clip in there and keep that sectioned out. So let's just keep that there for the sake of the argument. All right, let's go back in. So again, hot tips are root going up and staying up. A couple of passes, bring the brush in, hold for a second, roll halfway out, and then unwind like you would do a curler. All right, here we go. Great. So now we've done the second section and we're on to the top section, which is our final section, and we're almost there. We're in the home run stretch. So we're gonna unclip this top, and now we're dealing with all the hair that's on top and the crown hair. So here's what we're gonna do, because we're looking for maximum volume. We're just gonna section this in 3 different sections. Again, more if you have more hair, but all we're gonna do is see, I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see that this is a section. You're just going to part straight across, so like a horizontal line. And this is gonna be section number 1. It doesn't have to be a perfect section. So this is gonna be section number 1. What I usually do is I just kind of clip this, so I pre-section before I start this process. So that's gonna be my last and final section. And I'm gonna pick up this hair that I just kind of dropped for a second. I'm gonna take another section out of this and go straight across. So now I have 2, 3. So 3 sections on the top. I'm gonna pull this forward, twist this, take another one of my clips, clip this up and out of the way, and now I'm left with the crown section. So this section that's back here, this is gonna be our first section. And just like on the sides and the bottom, we're going to be brushing through first to get prepped and ready. So same thing, and ladies, this is the amazing part. It's like you're getting your arm workout in while you're blow drying your hair. So that's the bonus. So we're definitely going to be taking the crown and we're gonna be making sure that you're over directing that hair. So see how this hair is going straight up again towards the ceiling. What we don't want is for this to be coming this way. If it's coming this way, then we're flattening the scalp. So if you're keep blow drying your hair and it's just you're not getting any volume whatsoever, that's why. So get those arms up and get that brush up. We're gonna be going towards the ceiling, just like that. So same thing, and give yourself a couple of practice runs with no blow dryer in your hand, just like I'm doing. And then you'll be a pro before you pick up the blow dryer. So let's start. Okay, now you've rolled down just like a roller. You're gonna come halfway out, and then same thing, just unwind and set that behind you and just let it cool as you move on to your second section within this section. Pick this hair up, get it brushed out, same exact thing. so last section. Now, some of you may have hair that is all 1 month. Some of you may have some bangs. Some of you may have just a little bit of face frame. I actually have a little bit of shorter, like face frame bangs that are coming in here. So for mine, for instance, I'm actually just gonna take it all in this one section, and I'm going to go ahead and blow dry this with no part. If you have true bangs, just this is the point where you let those down, and then we'll come back to them, or you could have already prep dried those to begin with. But go ahead and do the exact same thing here, and then we're gonna share with you how to go back around the face to make it more custom to how your hair is cut. So last section, same thing as the previous section. You can see some of my hair dropped out. That's totally fine because you're really just wanting to get a little bit of lift in the root there and tend to those ends. And then I'm just going to brush that back. Okay, so you're here. You have all this hair blown out. This is the point where now you're gonna find your part. Because by waiting till the end like this, now your part isn't gonna be so sort of severe. It's gonna be softer. So now I'm gonna just take this same brush and I'm just gonna brush back and start kind of pushing and deciding where I want my hair to go today. So I'm gonna kind of go sort of center to off center. So I'm just gonna kind of let that hair do its thing. So you can see all this volume that's happening already. And then we're gonna bring this hair forward, and then I'm just playing with the ends. Now, to make this more custom, this is where you're gonna come in and you're just going to blow dry any of these pieces here. So for instance, since I have a little bit of a shorter piece, I'm just gonna kind of pick up the hair that's here, that's a little shorter on both sides, and I'm gonna blow that out just a teeny bit, just to make it a little bit more custom. So just like that. So there you have it, your everyday salon ready blowout. Definitely tell me what you guys think. It's so exciting sharing with you. So I'll be definitely check back for more videos to come. And I really hope that this works out for you and that you'll try it and let me know how it goes. Thank you so much. And thanks for tuning in to Salon Ready Every Day.